Hey, welcome to Chats with Mom and V.
I'm V. What's up?
You know what? So we were just sitting and we started talking, and the talk got so amazing. It got so deep, and we had these wonderful people around us when we were talking. So we said, why don't we let them in onto our podcast?
Yeah.
And they sounded like they're fine. Eh?
It sounded okay, and I mean, the point of this was to just, get peek into our minds and our everyday lives, and, these two guests are very much a part of that.
Of our lives.
I'll introduce my one.
I'll introduce my both.
Yeah, but I'll start with introducing my one.
Okay.
This handsome, beautiful, gorgeous man with the green eyes that are reserved only for me.
By the way, on that note, so Robert, you were driving, and then somebody stopped you smack on the road and said,
what did they say? No.
Okay, tell us. What did they say?
So it was a couple of months ago when I was heading down to Tanzania with a couple of my friends, and we just left the house literally half an hour on the expressway, and in the end I wanted to pay, and this girl approached us to give us the ETC discount, and the first thing she said was basically, "Oh, you have the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen." And this was literally within 30 minutes of Vanessa telling Pastor Augustine that, just look after him, and, make sure he's fine and all these things. So I just turned around in the car and I told to Pastor Augustine, this conversation has never happened. You didn't see anything. Let's just continue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, beginning of a 16-hour journey.
Right. When you told Vanessa, what did you feel like when he told you? Before I introduce my other one.
No, it wasn't shocking. He has beautiful eyes.
But this young girl walks up to him and just says, "Hey, you have gorgeous eyes." When he told you, no, seriously, like, how did you feel?
Seriously?
Yeah.
You can ask my husband. I'm not the jealous type at all. I was like, well, obviously, she'd say that.
Really?
Not to my surprise, ask.
Yeah, it's very true, and we don't hide anything from each other. So I actually brought it up in a conversation. As we got to our destination, I said it to her straight away.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hide.
Nothing to hide.
I mean, it was flattering to myself.
Oh, were you flattered? Did the ego get boosted?
Baby, be honest.
I laughed a bit, like I blushed, like I'm not used to these things. Yeah. Normally it doesn't happen to me, so that's what was the funniest thing. That it happened 30 minutes after she made a comment before our journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but no, it's something we don't hide from each other. We just laugh at these things, and
it's positive.
It's positive, yeah, of course it's
because
positive.
For me, I've married a very handsome man with beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
The world shut their eyes to his eyes.
But you know what? But let's be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of things begin there. Like, there are people who have probably not been told. Then they are told, and then they're like, wait a minute. You now even take a mirror and start looking at yourself like, am I that? And then something grows.
But I think it's very important to be positively encouraged by a wife as well. You know what I mean? So Vanessa obviously tells it to me all the time. So I think that's very important. So when it happens out of a blue, out of nowhere, yes, it's a nice feeling, but at the same time, it doesn't mean anything to me because my wife reminds me of it every day. Not that I'm beautiful or handsome or all these things, but I don't think I am. I don't think of myself that way. But just like,
he is.
Just being positive. Like, even if I just wash the dishes, she would say, "Wow, such a great thing you did," or "I take Nia to bed. Wow, this was so sexy that you've
taken your
daughter to bed." Like,
yeah.
it's
Yes.
She expects me to be present, basically. So as long as I do it, that's the most important part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeremy,
and like you said, it's not a shock being told he's beautiful, because I'll tell him randomly,
yeah,
babe, gosh, you're so handsome. Like
I'm
randomly.
about to come and ask whether he tells you, but let me just introduce Jeremy. So Jeremy, hey.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy back at it again with another video. You remember that one? Oh man, I used to do that a long time ago.
I know.
What's going on, guys? How you guys?
So Jay also started really asking questions, and we're gonna come to that very, very shortly. And we just had such a nice, amazing conversation. But just before we get on to Jeremy, so does he tell you?
He does.
Yeah.
And what does he tell
Quite
you?
often.
Eh.
There's things that are not supposed to be said here. But he literally looks at me like chocolate sometimes. Literally, he look at me like a block of chocolates. If that can answer any of your questions of what he says,
You have already answered. We have heard.
you're welcome.
So,
And Rob
okay,
has a sweet tooth.
So you compliment her all the time.
Yeah, I do. I honestly, I think Vanessa compliments me more. So it's probably something I have to get better at, but I do compliment her.
I also honestly think I do my husband more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I'm always, baby, you're so
Is it a
handsome.
competition?
know.
I don't know.
Baby, let me tell you, if
it
you're
seems
watching
like it's
this,
a
this is a bone we have to pick. I cannot
boy
be the
child
one
needs to be telling
boy
the women
child-
more.
No, the boy child needs to arise.
but I actually think
It's a
that
competition now. What do we like?
No, not even in competition, but it has to be the other way around a lot.
What do you say? What do you
yes,
say?
but I feel like men have moments when they go all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these, and I don't want to downplay it, but these 2%ers are more something that, in my opinion, females do more often. But then randomly we would, I don't know, take you out for a dinner or whatever, go on a holiday or, buy you a
present.
present. Yeah. So it's more, it has more of a wow effect.
So you may do it less but very deep.
Yeah, very
Is that what
deep.
you're saying?
And
Bigger.
Like even dad.
Thank you.
And potentially even, I would say, more meaningful. So even if we don't attach a present to it, it would be like a meaningful occasion. Like, okay, let's go for a 2-hour drive, 2-hour walk, something, So it's long lasting.
It's long lasting, and
Yeah.
it's come from the depth.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's just
Like we really felt it, that this is something we have to do in that
Wow.
moment. Yeah.
Like you're saying that even dad does that, like for real. Yeah, that's for sure. Because he'll give me bigger things, and like you're saying, he'll tell me, you know what, let's go to Scotland and just the two of us and just have a beautiful time. So yeah, it outweighs all the you're handsome and
You're such a good dad.
and you're such a good
such
man,
great
and
husband.
yeah, so it actually outweighs it, because when you guys take your position, then you do a great job at that. So Jeremy asked a question while we were chatting, and that's why we even said let's do this podcast. Jay, can you remember what you asked about?
Yeah, obviously I can. Shout out to Pastor Peter, because this question is actually his question. So he always asks every married couple before you get married, kind of like courtship, like a couple months before. He asked like, what would you do if you got married, the wedding happened, everything went great, perfect day, dream day, and then something like you go to the room, you're about to get some snacks, and you want to, get the night on. You don't know what's gonna happen, so you're just getting snacks for maybe a movie, and then like in that night, let's say the cleaner comes in, but then you come back to, maybe you forgot your keys. So you come back to get your keys or something, and you find the cleaner sleeping with your wife. Like you just got married that exact day. What would you do? So that was definitely like, a good question to ask.
Hey.
For a married couple on this side.
We put off-
Things
we
we talk
put
about
off-
after
yeah,
my
we put off
preaches.
the podcast.
Talking about the family unit and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
After preaching
After
about the
talking
family unit
family unit,
for an entire month.
Follow-up questions.
Lord have mercy. Yeah. Okay. Really.
Happens.
Hello. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Hold on. She's asking if you want a cup of tea.
Oh yes, please.
Of
you?
course.
You?
I
What?
want coffee.
Yeah. Apple cinnamon.
You have Coke? I want coffee.
Oh, thanks, my dear. So,
Kenyan
two
tea?
teas,
Two
Yes.
Kenyan
two
teas.
Kenya teas. You know, our teas. Vanessa
cinnamon.
wants apple cinnamon,
Ta.
and Jeremy wants coffee, of course. Okay, all right. Thanks, sir. Wow, bang on time. Okay, so, man, that's deep.
Is it?
Like on the same day, like that night was even okay. Did the person even want to get married in the first place?
Of course, because it happened. So obviously.
Okay, so this is an actual story, or it has happened somewhere.
I
Yeah?
think so.
Oh,
It's a
many-
scenario.
Oh, hear me many
But I
times.
think so.
Yeah. It's
It's
a
definitely-
scenario. And you asked, does the person want to get married? A lot of times, some women, actually, I think men maybe even struggle more with this, get married because their parents make them.
Wow.
You know?
I've never looked at
And
that.
like right before the wedding, for example, and I'm sure you've encountered some people in this situation, someone cheats prior to the marriage and someone wants to back out, and it's we've already paid so much money for the deposit.
Yeah, how can you?
What will we tell people?
How embarrassing!
How embarrassing, do you know?
What are you doing to the family name?
Yeah.
Go ahead and. So you know that you're definitely not even on the right path, but because of what people will say, you just go ahead and do it. Because I don't know that it can be an accident, honestly. Like the first night you.
Have you
Seriously?
consummated the marriage?
No.
No, not yet.
No, we haven't like. As I said before, it's that night, the night you're supposed to. Like the night everything's supposed to happen.
So this
special
person has
night.
gone for popcorn. They're
Yeah,
coming to
like
sit
you
and watch a
actually, like,
movie
set
fast.
movie, or not even a movie. Some people might just, be like, let's get straight to business, And that moment of not doing that is more of a, and then it doesn't happen that way. Like, what would you do in that situation? I've never been in that situation, and I'll never be in that situation. But you two are
Yeah.
a couple, so
We
you're
have not
asked
been in
for
that
it.
situation. That's what you're asking. Is that what he's asking?
And I wouldn't be
God
sitting here if I was
mercy.
in that situation. Let me put it that way.
So you're saying
That's not what
you
I-
would take off immediately?
Yeah, 100%. Chances are it would have happened before, and I mean it's such a big thing, adultery. You know what I mean? And do it on the same night. Like that's supposed to be the happiest day of your life for both of you. And you do it within 24 hours of getting married?
Or
No
6.
way. Or 6.
It's like a preview, right?
And with a cleaner.
Ah,
With a cleaner. You know what I mean?
Like it's like a preview of your
trailer.
life. Like the trailer.
trailer
It's like,
of what's gonna
nah,
happen.
pass.
So nah. You're
Definitely
off.
no.
You're gone.
Yeah, you're
Bye,
off.
Felicia.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm
Vanessa?
gone too.
You're gone.
I wouldn't even second guess. I'll be like, enjoy yourself, please. With
Wow.
see you never. But key thing
Clean
to remember,
everything with the
Clean
cleaner.
everything with the cleaner.
Yeah.
Make sure you leave everything spotless.
Oh, thank you.
And get out.
Thank you. Let me pass it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
This is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
So
That's
much
beautiful.
love.
So pass it over
This
to
is Rob's.
Robert.
That one's
Yeah.
Rob's. It's the other way. Okay.
I can lie, y'all are fancy. man.
Do you need a
There's
spoon?
gold cup.
Nah, I'm all good.
Oh.
Yeah, beautiful cups. I never even knew we had
Right?
these.
For podcast, we have to remove the best.
Always one.
Oh man, I didn't even know we had these.
This is why I don't
For
take you
podcast, we
anywhere.
have to
What
remove
the
the
heck?
best. And I think she gave me coffee. This is coffee, so I'm gonna give it to. This is coffee. so
No,
it's
Jay doesn't
for
drink
Jeremy.
white coffee.
Is it cold?
Oh, it's for me. It's mine. Excellent.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Thank
I don't really
you.
like cups
Oh,
because
thanks,
they're so
Kato.
small. I don't like them.
Oh,
That's
they're so
fine, you know.
cute.
Let me tell you,
Today I'll sacrifice.
for the cuteness.
Thank you.
And cold.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful.
So, okay, so like I was saying, I would leave, but also I think a lot of people need to know on your wedding night, until you consummate your marriage, you're technically not married.
Yeah.
So it's not a divorce you'd be getting, it's an annulment. And it's a lot easier to annul a marriage than to get a divorce. You know? So because I have that knowledge, I'd be like, peace out.
And now-
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna annul my marriage immediately. I'm not gonna have like a blemish in something that so quickly. Because like I said, this with having a preview.
But okay, and then now I'm wondering why somebody asked that question. Although I have dealt with such a case before, but it was obviously something that had started before.
That's what we're saying.
And then
Like
now,
we said,
on this day, the person that's obviously being left now for good, you know, is like, you know what? Let's just one more time, and so of course wants to mess up with the wedding and the marriage, and wants to feel more important than the woman that's getting married. Like, you know what? I have him. And so it has happened a lot with that, just jealousy and, you know, wanting to be the one. But my thing is, like, Vanessa and Robert are saying, like, it might not, in most cases, it's not a new thing. It's not with a cleaner, really.
Yeah.
Normally, it's something
been
that has
happening.
been happening. And now, you know, you just want to spoil this night
Oh,
for this couple.
yeah. And do you think that this, and this is now for all of you, and Jay can answer this in a relationship.
Okay.
If this scenario happened, let's say 2 weeks after.
Ooh.
So you're
Then you
kind of
have more
okay,
time.
the marriage is going fine,
The first week was great, obviously.
the first week
'cause
was
you guys are,
great,
Yeah.
you know,
and then now it's the second
honeymoon.
week.
It's honeymoon now.
Baby, I wouldn't know from you actually.
It is still the same thing.
Yeah, the same scenario.
I mean, I
No, I'm
must.
saying, is it the same answer for you?
Yeah, I must say it's still the same answer.
Please give me a serviette.
You know, especially with Vanessa's scenario that the marriage is going fine, we are doing great. Clearly we're not, because the other person had decided to cheat. And it's just within 2 weeks. Okay, you can't get an annulment, and now we're talking about divorce. But you know, I suppose biblically that's allowed.
What if they have a
Because of
what if they have
adultery.
what if they have a sex addiction?
Hey!
Now,
Is
that
okay.
is a
Wow,
lot.
but there's a lot more questions I have.
Yeah,
here. Did you know about it before you got married? You know what I mean? Was it an open relationship before?
Yes,
no.
that's a good question.
And now you're getting married, and you're saying, okay, well, we've had our fun,
Yeah.
we've slept with whatever many people, and now it's just the two of us, knowing that before we had an open relationship, but now we're married, so let it just be the two of us. In that scenario, I'm just saying that both of them are completely dumb to entering into this
To enter a
relationship.
To even, yeah, because you're not even ready. Thank you.
I think so.
Yes.
I agree. I think it's the same thing. Like if you're that means you never respected the person to begin with.
But I think,
So,
honestly, people need to discuss their struggles and their issues
They do.
before.
They do.
Like, if you're going to get into this thing that's for life, you need to tell the person what you struggle with. And they need to decide if they are ready to even walk with you in this in your struggles or not.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when you're talking about sex addiction, it's a very big thing.
Yes.
You see, addiction, everybody needs to know, is a disease. Whether it's sex, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whatever addiction is a disease. So, if you have sex addiction, it means that you're sick. Nothing will satisfy you because you are really in a bottomless pit. It doesn't matter how many people you sleep with. It doesn't matter how many times you do it. Because you're sick, you'll never be satisfied. So here you are now. You have taken a woman or a man, because it could be the woman that is struggling with sex addiction, and now you've decided to marry this person. They don't know your struggles. So they get into the marriage and immediately it's a sick affair.
But that's why I believe that before the two people get married, they have to see a counselor or their pastor somebody who also knows them. Maybe they know 90% of their secrets, and the 10% they must open up about it before they get married, so that they can get the advice and potentially start working on the issues to get the help as well. I think that's very important. Me and Vanessa, we did it, although we didn't have any issues, but we still gone through and seen a counselor a couple of weeks before our wedding, just to make sure we are compatible and all those things, you know. So we got the answer that you guys are a perfect match for each other, and you know, there's no secrets, you're doing great. So we entered in our marriage with confidence, with no doubts. There was no secrets, we didn't hide anything from each other. So I think it's very important, even if you know about the other person's secret, let's say they are sex addict, I still believe it's very important for you to open up to your, let's say, a pastor or a counselor, yeah, because then they might give you the tools. They might ask you questions which you never wanted to answer as well, these hard questions, you know. A lot of people, when they enter the marriage, they know what they want to answer. So they know what they want to ask the other person before they get married, but they are afraid of the answer.
Yeah.
So
So they'd rather be quiet.
yeah, they'd rather be quiet. They know that this is going to be an issue, or might be an issue, literally within a couple of weeks of getting married.
Yeah.
But they just want to go through it. They paid for the wedding. What would the parents say? All these, you know, other secondary issues, which are a lot smaller than dealing with the actual problem a couple of weeks after the wedding.
And also, Robert, to be honest, and Vanessa and Jeremy, some things are so deep, like you need to give them out in doses.
Yeah, I believe that too. Like I think it's important
Like somebody-
to give things
like-
in doses. Like don't tell everybody everything, or don't tell everybody
Like no, not even everybody.
even the person that you love,
you're going to get married to.
because it's like
some
how do you
things.
handle that?
Yeah.
But I'd say this though, from my point of view, because all I'm doing, I'm listening to all, you know, different point of views and different perspective and opinions. I think also the foundation really matters, because if you start a relationship with a proper foundation, a godly foundation, it's easier for you to go back and figure out, okay, what do you do now? Like, what does God say about this? What does God say about this? How do you deal with it from here? How do you deal with it from there? Type of look at it from different aspects. Because for me, I believe like love is a choice. You know, like love is not just a feeling. If you've chosen to be with this person, you know, what are you willing to go through? Because not every time it will be like,
Come on, boy.
every
You're
time-
how old again?
not every time it would be like, you know, sunshines and rainbows, you know, like the honeymoon stage, quote unquote, lasts only forever. So like if you get with someone, especially men, we have this aspect of, we're very logical, and we look at things further every time. We don't look at things like, even Rob can attest for me, we've never looked at things, I'm sure even before he married you, he looked at it, he was like, okay, this is somebody I'm looking for my life with, like I can see it happening. You understand? Men are not the type of people who will just get with someone and be like, let's just live day by day. Because every man wants a future, a plan. We always have that. There's no even the guys who are even broke, I believe, or not really living the life that they want to live in the beginning, still have a vision. You understand? So I think even if you have somebody, let's say with a sex addiction, you also have to ask them the question of like, are they willing to change?
Do you want help?
Wow.
Yeah, are they willing to deal with it?
That's
you know?
so good.
Are
Like,
they-
do you need help?
Yeah, like even before marriage, like let's say for example, right? Like I agree with the aspect of marriage counseling, but even in that, let's say they open up about it. Take, let's say, 4 months, like a 4-month break of her really working on it. You know, where we're not even talking about relationship wise, like you as an individual.
Do you want help?
Yeah, do you want
you wanna
help?
work
Do you
on
wanna
it?
deal
Yeah.
with it? Like, and you say this all the time. When you get married to a person, you be a whole person. Don't look at somebody and like to try to complete you. Try to figure out you. You have to already love yourself, deal with yourself. Then
You say that
get
a
into
lot,
a
Vanessa.
relationship
I say
with
that,
somebody who genuinely like is
Yeah.
able to complement your wholeness, not complete it, but complement it.
but
Like,
complement.
That's one thing I love about you guys. Like, and this is kudos to you. I've been here for about 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, and one thing I love about them is that you guys are a very understanding couple. Everything. I've never had a moment where it's like, man, this guy suck. I've always had a moment like this. Like I've never had a moment where it's like, they never
If
understand
this
each
is
other.
marriage, I don't want it.
They never understand each other. Right?
He always says Robert is too cool.
But he's so
my
cool.
God, he's the
Like
brother
I've
I
never
needed.
one person I've never had a bad time with is Robert, and one person that I've never had a bad time with is V. No matter even if we disagree on stuff, like
This one
Robert
with her
really understands
firmness.
a lot. You know, like Robert really understands that. So for me, I see the compliment where she's not like as emotional. She's not as emotional as most females that I know. It's very logical sometimes. Analyze it a lot, right?
Facts.
Robert is just a logical guy. Where like 1 + 1 is 2. Like you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
4.
Like, why
or,
are you
you know,
making
like
it-
I'm not
yeah.
here to pick and choose a different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know,
No, but I
Color
like
type
that. Okay, say
Oh.
that.
this thing that you mentioned, you know, a lot of people look at the criteria, what they want from their wives and things like that. Her to have logical opinions and come to logical conclusions, whilst she might start off illogically, when we have the rational conversations, discussions, we still end up in the same spot. We can still agree or
Agree to disagree.
agree to disagree
Yeah.
with
And
each
still be
other.
friends. Okay, me that I don't understand.
Correct.
You guys, honestly, no, like that. You know, there's a time I asked Vanessa, so have you called Robert? And she says, okay, why am I calling Robert? And I said, because you guys fought. And what did you say?
Well, we didn't fight.
She was in shock.
One time, I think we had a disagreement in a while. It's taken us years. We've been
Yeah.
together for 10 years. 11 this year.
That's a long time, dude. What?
But
You
it,
really
but
killing
it's
it out here.
A third of my life.
right an exact
It's
third of
true,
our
though.
lives.
Yeah.
'Cause
You
we're
were 22.
33. Yeah.
You were 22 when you met.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it wasn't always like this. Like I think even we were okay at the very beginning, then we had a rough patch, and then we got okay again, then we got engaged, and then we had a minor rough, then we got married, but we addressed all of that, then we had a rough, and then we addressed it, then we found that our fights were in circles. No? We were fighting about the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
You know, he had this idea of how he needed things. I had this idea of how I needed things. And we'd semi-address them.
And the biggest problem was I kept it under the bonnet, so I would be fine for like 3 months, and literally
Like clockwork.
clockwork, I would just explode. Like she would, whatever, let's say, leave a pen on the desk, and I would go off for like 2 hours.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, let's talk.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one to take things lying down. You want to go? Let's go, you know?
Sometimes I would tell you to lie down, and you're like, Mom, stop. This is let me, because I never saw that. You know, like where you would iron it
Yeah.
and then fix it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. And so, but that took us years. I say this to say that we're here now, but that was growth. We grew up together.
It was hard work. We made it through our rough patches. Although looking back, they were minor
They
issues.
weren't rough.
Yeah.
Like they just felt
Yeah.
big
They-
at
they,
the
they
moment.
felt big, but they were.
Yeah.
You know,
big.
like when we're Jay's age, I'm sure
Yeah.
something feels like it's the
It's a
end
mountain.
all be all.
It's a Mount Kilimanjaro and
And you're talking
Everest
to a married couple,
together.
and they're like,
And
But-
when you talk to the older people, they're like, "What is all this? Like, you'll be fine."
To be
But,
honest, I look back and I cannot for the life of me believe that we fought about those things.
Yes, but also what I want to say is what helped us was the relationship of your parents.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
Hey,
Shout out to mom and dad.
Shout out, Dad. We love you up there.
hey
Man.
guys, that
We
will
love
be
you, Dad.
me
We love you.
and my boo.
Because what I've noticed, especially about you, you address issues there and then. Whether it's with your staff or with your marriage, with your kids,
Yeah.
whoever it is, even people you don't know,
Yeah,
but they upset you, but you address the problem there and then, you fix it.
yeah,
What is it? You need 1,000 shillings to do this so you can fix all these problems. Here
Yeah.
is 1,000 shillings. Let's fix the problem. Move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you see the result,
Yeah.
as long as you see the end of it.
Right.
Same with your marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dad gets upset about whatever
Yeah.
you're not going to the office for a couple of hours.
We are fixing it.
You're fixing it there and
Let's
then.
fix it.
Yes.
Because I don't
You
know
want
how
to just
to
walk out.
No, and I don't know how to now carry things in my heart. And
That's
the
one
whole
thing
day
I-
I'm so sad.
And it upsets you, and your
amazing.
performance is not 100% because it bugs you. It's in your head.
Exactly. So for me, I'd rather we deal with it, we finish it, we move on, we open another chapter. Because again, that's the other problem, where couples put things under the carpet. They keep sweeping.
Yeah, by the
as
time
if,
it's exploding, by the time you're done. Yeah.
as if sweeping it under the carpet will somehow take it away.
Correct.
I'm
And-
just laughing
and-
because of the 3 months quarterly argument.
You're remembering?
I almost know exactly when it's.
So like, oh, I have a week left. Wow.
Oh my gosh. And for sure it'll happen.
For sure it will happen.
sure.
There will
Can
be
I-
something. It won't even sometimes be about me. Nia will do something and that
Yeah.
will bring
And you're
in
like, okay,
everything.
there we go. And did
I'll be
you
like,
get to a point of,
"Oh."
there we go?
I did. And then
Yeah.
he'd be like, oh, so now you don't care. I'm like, no, but like, we've been through this.
But then it took us a season, and that season has been now here in Kenya, where we removed all that rubbish from under the carpet. Everything we were sweeping under the carpet, you have to remove it. You sweep rubbish, creates a bump under the carpet.
Bigger
You know
and
what I-
bigger
yeah,
and bigger.
yes,
So it keeps
correct.
growing.
Keeps growing, and eventually the carpet's gonna tear. That's when you're gonna cheat. That's when you're gonna get a divorce. That's when you're gonna run away with a whatever
Younger model.
younger model, whatever it is.
Oh my gosh, this is deep.
Yes. So
So-
that's how I see it. So when we moved to Kenya, we definitely had a bump under the carpet. It wasn't big because our issues were so small, but you know, as we were getting, well, me, I was getting counselling in Australia before we came here. That
Yeah.
really helped me. I had a rough period there, so that helped me deal with some old issues. And as I was seeing how you and Dad treat each other, spoke to my mom a couple of times as well about the issues, and got all this help from external and internal sources. You know, one by one, we started to remove the dust from under the carpet. So the last year has been absolutely perfect.
It has
Even before that, like it wasn't bad. It was just this clockwork, small things, and really after
That
every
are
couple of
piled.
months, it was just piling up.
I know,
But the important thing is that you never get to that big pile of rubbish under the
that's
carpet.
good.
So when you leave it out and it keeps growing, it's a time bomb.
Yes.
It's waiting
And-
to explode.
And God gives you the opportunity to deal with it. You know,
Hmm.
obviously not in the scenario we brought up at the beginning. Like if
Yeah.
something like that happens at the end of
It's
the
kind
night,
of, it's kind of,
me, I'm out. I'm sorry. There's nothing.
there's nothing you can do.
They-
That will ever change our
There's
life.
not
nothing
even
to deal with
finding
here.
out.
There's nothing to deal
I
with
don't know.
here.
Like,
You burn the carpet.
And the cover.
or just
You
vacuum
manage as you move
vacuum
on.
under that thing and just leave.
But there's something that Jay said that I think is so powerful, that love is a choice.
Yeah.
Because I think that is where a lot of people are missing it when it comes to marriage. You tend to think that there's going to be these feelings, and that you need to be led by feelings. But many times in the marriage, there is even not those feelings. They are not there. You don't always have those feelings.
Those
Like
butterflies.
if you let the feelings direct you, you can't go far. You know what I'm saying? Because there are moments where you like, but not all the time. There are times you actually don't even have those feelings.
And then women with our cycles,
And then-
that affects those feelings
Yeah.
majorly.
Majorly.
From day 1 to 10, 10 to 14, I want a baby.
Who is this?
14 to 16, oh my God, you're breathing too loud. 17 to 20, really, you can't remember what I like to eat? And then boom.
And I definitely
Then
feel
there's-
like
there's a period
Vanessa
and
would
you
make it
start
a
again.
big deal if you don't remember what she likes to
Not
eat.
Vanessa.
No.
Like I feel like she'd be like,
Women. Of course it's a big deal.
But it depends on the time of the month, is what I mean.
Yeah.
On the first, I don't care. I'll be like, oh yeah, no big deal. You catch me like 2-3 days before? Really?
I know Rob's like, oh,
He's like,
dang it,
yeah.
I wasn't
He's
trying to be
okay,
here.
it's time.
Let me go play football with the boys.
Rob immediately knows that, oh, it's time. Because you know, I'll be doing something and be like, oh, but these people can be so unfair.
Oh my god.
And that escalates in pregnancy.
Yeah.
Where a lot of couples can fail is during pregnancy.
Wow.
There's 2 types of pregnant women, or maybe more, but these are the 2 I've known in my family. There's women who are very relational and want you all around them,
Yeah.
you know, like mom. And there's women like me. Ask my husband. You're too close. Why are you breathing? Like how can you breathe in my direction?
Can you?
You know, I'm serious.
And-
And I was sick. You're here, baby. Remember, we actually had to go and get wafers. Generally, I'm not a big cuddly. I don't like people in my space. Pregnancy escalated that, like,
A lot.
you know,
Like
proper,
just let's arm's length. Let's
you know.
Wow.
And poor husband, because his love language is also touch, and he wants to be there with the pregnancy, and he's so excited about all these things.
And you're wondering now, why do you have to keep touching?
And my hormones are like, bro.
Get off me right now.
And okay, hello. Can I introduce you to something else?
Yes, introduce me.
Do you know that all pregnancies differ?
Yes, yeah. That's
Do
what I'm
you
saying.
know you can actually with the
With
same,
the same person, I know.
You can actually get pregnant again, and you're all over Robert until he's scared.
He's like, bro.
He's like, bruh, please.
What is this whole situation?
Like, give me a
What
break.
is this all
I
about?
need to breathe. No, seriously. Like,
Yeah.
it can be like that.
And-
With Steph,
She had both.
no, me now.
No,
I'm
no.
talking about
Oh, okay,
me.
Okay.
Carrying Steph,
Yeah.
your father was a nuisance.
Right?
Disturbing human being.
He breathe around you. You want him gone dead.
With Jay,
immediately.
please, come.
Come here.
You know,
And Steph went through the same with both her pregnancies, because the second time she came to me, she's like, Vanessa, I thought you were exaggerating. So I bring up these stories to tie it back to what Mom and Jay, you know, and even Rob have brought up. Love is an emotion, right? Like, if you base your marriage on love, there is seasons we will have where I can guarantee you that idea of what love should look like cannot sustain me.
I cannot
It
sustain you.
cannot.
So you're in for now.
agree.
You even think this person is bad. You think what
They're
but
cheating.
It has nothing to do with the person,
They
or they
hate
are
me.
cheating and stuff
agree.
like that. Yeah.
That's why I go back even into the Bible where like God says, you know, I know some women nowadays in this generation don't like this verse, but they say, wife submit to your husband, but husband love your wife like Christ loved the church.
Okay, good.
So the same, it's a two-way street. So it's like, are you willing to sacrifice for this person? Because Christ died for the church. If a bullet happened now, is he the first one jumping for you? You understand where I'm coming from?
Ask him, here
how
he
far,
is.
How far is he willing to go? Are you? Wait, that's
Robert,
that's-
talk to us now. The floor
How
is
far-
open.
Baby, in front of my whole family.
how far- Rob's like, hold on, bro.
Be careful what you say.
Depends which day of the month.
Oh my gosh. Eh?
Well, we have to make it funny as well, no?
That's brilliant, babe.
So yeah, like that whole aspect of it, like when biblical
Yeah.
is very, very, very,
How
very,
how
very
how
important.
would you look at it? Would you take the bullet?
You know, I was joking.
I would.
though. Seriously.
No,
I-
of course I would take the bullet.
He was joking.
Yeah, no. There is no way. I would have to take the bullet. What would I do? Like my child needs a mother. I'm an important figure, but I'm there to protect the family. You know what I mean? I would be pretty. I have a very good relationship with my daughter, but I can't imagine her not having Vanessa in her life. You know, and I don't want her not to have me. But that thought, that thought of her not being in Nia's life, no way. I would take 20 bullets. Yeah.
Aw.
But it's not even a question. That's not even a question,
You're so
honestly.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh, That is so wonderful. Oh my gosh.
That's so cute.
Every husband, please, I hope you're taking notes. You better just take notes. No, that's really,
very
really
cute.
good. That's really, really good.
And you know, some people would get upset that I wouldn't go, no, I'd do the same. But honestly, no. Based off the Bible and honestly, relationally, like Rob is saying. Remember one time we had this discussion, if one of us had to go first, who would we rather it be? And Rob is like, oh, I reckon me because of Nia. And I'm like, yeah, no, I reckon me as well because of Nia.
You all are too much.
No,
Okay,
but in all honesty, that is the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is that none of us ever have to take that bullet for each other, because as much as Christ loved the church, he did it once. We don't necessarily need to be jumping in front of
Yeah,
bullets for
he
family.
didn't want
Yeah.
to do it, but,
But
he just
the
chose to.
protection element,
Yeah.
I think, is the key of that verse.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be life or death.
Yeah.
How are you
And
protecting your family?
And our vows, we did the traditional vows. You
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
that's I think very important as well.
Yeah,
The
we did.
You know, the traditional vows.
That is so good you say that, because
we
nowadays
talked
they've
about that.
changed them.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants just to be poetic and
Yeah.
like you can never go through anything. And it's good to just have a reality check,
Yeah.
because life comes at you
Mhm.
and life happens. And many times life is coming at young people. And Jeremy, this is very important for you because of where you're going. You always say you want to get married young, and I'm coming to ask you that. But
It varies nowadays.
You reach that age where you said
Nowadays
it's
it
one-
varies. I'm like, I'm not sure.
no, but listen. So they want to just be poetic and all that. But life does come at somebody, and many young people now are leaving each other because
Off the
because
down.
why, because why
Irreconcilable
did you
differences.
the irreconcilable is why did you serve me with a gold cup? I wanted
The silver.
silver one. Like minute things is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like many times when they tell you why they're actually leaving each other, you have fought over that 100 times over why they're leaving each other, and you made it. And that's a very critical thing to look at, because a lot of young people want to think that marriage is just roses and just a bed of roses and nothing, you will never face nothing, which is not true.
And I'll fight that. Sorry, I'll give you a contradiction to that statement. I think that was the idea, and now they're seeing, for example, so many people are getting divorced. So now the young people are asking, why get married?
Yeah.
Right? Because before, the movies would end with, and they lived happily ever after,
after.
and that was shown. And parents staged together, hiding all the drama, and now these kids are grown, they're divorcing. And now every celebrity under the sun this year alone who seemed happy, they're divorcing.
You're like, what the heck happened?
You know, we had it with the women. A young lady asked, your generation, for every issue that we're seeing in marriage right now, why get married? So I think the disillusion of marriage has been burst, but there's nothing to step in and address the genuine beauty of marriage. And I also think there's a feeling in the younger people of not wanting to work,
Yeah.
and that extends
Yeah.
They
to
don't want to work.
From my point of view, and thanks to mom and dad, I've grown up in this very good fairy tale of what a good marriage looks like. I can never, and Vanessa can attest for me, I'll never say there was a day where we went through like this terrible talk. We've had our arguments here and there. Every family has their time, right? But like, it's never been bad. There's never a day where I'm like, man, I want to leave.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because your parents were doing the maintenance under the carpet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once the pile got a little bit big, they made sure that they cleaned it up.